We're going to spend more time with shapes in Illustrator. The assignment is Advanced Shapes. So I want you to click on Advanced Shapes and I want you to download it onto your computer. It'll end up going into Illustrator and it looks like this. The first thing we're going to start off with is the left corner, and I'm going to make sure that I'm in layer 2. I'm going to grab my ellipse tool and I'm going to click once on the artboard and I'm going to click a 0.5 by 0.5 so that my circle is exactly the same size as the directions. I'm going to turn my fill off and leave my stroke on and place this circle here. Now we could rotate this around, but I want to show you how powerful the direct selection tool is. We go over here to that, the white arrow, the direct selection tool. We click once on this anchor point and just this anchor point. And now we come over to properties and we convert it to a point. You can make flower petals, you could make teardrops. We're going to pull this down just slightly. If you want to guarantee it's straight, you can hold the shift key as you do that. Now I want to make this move, the whole thing. If I go ahead and use the rotation tool right now, it's going to move only the anchor point that I have selected. So we need to go ahead with our black arrow. We need to click out and click back so that it's reselected and I have control of the entire object. I'm going to grab my rotation tool, place it right down in the middle. I'm going to hold the Option key and click once. And I'm going to set this number to 30 degrees and I have to click copy. If you don't, it's not going to do anything. I'm going to put my finger on Command and I'm going to click down on D. So I'm doing Command D until I have enough to go all the way around. Next, I'm going to use my ellipse tool again, clicking down. I'm going to do 1 inch by 1 inch. You can go ahead and color this if you want to. And you're going to place it directly on top of the original or the sample. I'm going to now transform this. I'm going to give it space 1 1/4 inches in between so that I can copy this line exactly. So I'm going to come up here to Object, Transform, and I should say before I do this, you have to have the object selected in order to do it. You're going to go Object, Transform, Transform Each, and you're going to be moving it horizontally across 1.25. If you want to test it, you can preview ahead of time. Make sure you do copy, and again, Command D. Now, sometimes you might want to do a target, sometimes you might want to do a graph in Illustrator. We're going to go ahead and use our scale tool for this. We're going to start with a 3 inch by 3 inch circle, and notice we're just using the ellipse every single time. You're going to place it down, turn off the stroke. We are then going to use Object, Transform, Scale, and this time we're going to go down. So we're starting at 100% and now we're going to go down 50. You can also go down 25 so it's not quite as much, or even 75. 75 would be better. 75. Hit copy and do Command D. Command D, Command D, Command D, Command D, all the way. I changed it just slightly. The degrees are a little bit different on this one. We can go ahead and use this as the proper way to do it. Now we're going to break away from using an ellipse. We're going to grab our polygon tool. We're going to drag it out. Go down on the arrow. You all should have made triangles before. Hold Shift and Option to keep it nice and straight. You can fill this in if you want to. just to make sure it looks nice and pretty. I'm going to lift it up until it's even. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to reflect this object. I'm going to do Command C, Command V. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to do Command C, Command F. Command F is giving me a copy, but it's sitting directly on top of my triangle. I'm then going to go to Object, Transform, Reflect, and I'm going to reflect. It says vertical, it means horizontal, and click OK. I'm going to then hold Shift and go down and let go. So again, this should stay horizontal in your direction, or when you look at your directions. Now, the pen tool. The pen tool is a powerful tool. It does so many things, and we are going to spend way more time talking about it, but just for today, we're going to grab the pen tool and outline our pear. The pen tool has to have no fill and has to have a stroke turned on. And you are very fortunate to have a new version of the pen tool that did not exist before. It's called the pen curvature tool. So what I have my students do is I have them start off by using the regular pen tool, and I'm just paying attention to all the little places where it's going to curve. So I'm drawing straight lines until I notice that the pear is going to curve. And notice I am not doing the inside. I'm only focusing on the outside. I have connected my beginning and my end to make a shape. And now I'm going to use this very powerful, very helpful pen curvature tool. This allows me to go in and make adjustments. This did not exist in Illustrator up till, I believe, 2018, might be 2020. And I don't have to spend time working with my bars and making it difficult. It's very easy. You can make easy little tweaks. Alright, now we're going to take the pen tool and we're going to add in the details. See, now this is what I would do without my pen curvature tool. So as you can see, I am still in the habit of using the pen tool a different way. So I'm going to go ahead with that. You have to hit escape on your keyboard before you move on to the next section, because what you are doing is you are deselecting that anchor point so that you can start with a fresh one. So I'm going to go here. And I'm going to use my pen curvature tool. If you would like to get detailed and do all the little bumps in the leaves, you are welcome to do that. You can add the detail of the stem if you want to. See, now this is old school pen where I'm going to be stretching my pen tool out, hitting escape to deselect. And if I was to turn off the layer, this is the pen, this is the picture that I'm looking at. So as you can see, I have some correcting to do. I need to raise this up. I need to finish off this part of stem. And I'm just worried about outlining, so I'm not going to worry about coloring, but if you wanted to color, you would have to make sure that shapes are filled in, connected, meaning that the beginning and the end of a line have to come together. If they don't, then you cannot fill in a shape using the pen tool. Let's take a look at this artboard. we are officially done. I turned off my fill here when this was selected, so that's how come I ended up with this outlined. I'm going to go ahead and save as, save to my computer. I'm going to add my name to this, save it to my desktop, click OK, and then you can upload this into Canvas. So just to review, if I wanted to, I would go to Assignments, go to the assignment, and then I would upload it here. I'm not going to be able to because I don't have this published yet, but you would drop it in, just like you've been dropping in all your other projects.